So let me say a little bit something about commodities trading, and maybe it's other, some other forms of trading as well. The effectiveness of traders, as I've come to understand it, depends on their ability to spot relationships between prices and trends, making snap decisions about the direction in which these trends, these relationships are going. They all have highly intuitive minds for numbers, and they're very adept at making rapid calculations. In fact, I sometimes think it's as if they can see the numbers. It's as if they have a kind of almost an intuitive thing. The way I would have to think it out, there's this trend and there's this trend and how does it all fit together. For them, it's sort of like it's displayed, some kind of inner monitor. They also pick up clues about the market from events in the larger world. There's a shipping accident, so there's going to be a sudden shortage of oil, in a particular market. Or there's a refinery fire that's going to knock out a supply for a while. Or a new government regulation, or a new tax, or a kind of instability in a foreign place where oil is produced. Or there's a sudden breakthrough in technology, or things like that. Obviously that can affect the supply of oil or the demand for oil. And that's also something that they try to keep in account. They also get significant clues about the direction of the market from other traders in the ring itself, the actual environment that the trading takes place. And I think I should say something about that. The trading takes place in what they call pits. These pits are concentric circles, sort of tiered, layered sort of pits, areas where they actually can stand and see each other because it's all focused in the center and they're on different levels. They can see what the others are doing. Those who have seats, quote unquote, as to say, they're privileged members of this commodities exchange. They don't actually sit. I think they almost never sit. But if they have a seat, they can be in this pit, and then they can sort of interact with the other traders. The system of trading is called open outcry. They voice their bids in that pit, and they make offers to buy. Okay, if someone says, I've got 10,000 or 100 Beast Maze at 60, and basically what am I bid? And then someone bids, and they sort of make a instantaneous agreement. Then they're in front of each other, in front of everybody, so it's there exposed for everyone to see. They often have gestures that have been somewhat ritualized, so that in a sense, to assist the communication that goes on, so in a sense it's less ambiguous because it's very noisy. Open outcry is actually extremely, I would say, deafening. Occasionally I've had I've needed to call a client of mine while he was in the pit because of something had come up and I didn't want to respond to a change he needed to make in his appointment or whatever, and the noise was absolutely astonishing. Just you felt like you were in the boiler room of a destroyer. It was just on and on and on. And many of them actually have spoken to me about the fact that they did feel that one of the ill effects of trading was that they were hoarse frequently. They were maybe doing damage, long-term damage to their vocal cords. They had chronic sore throats, that sort of thing. But at the same time, many of them are very like physical guys. I mean, so they like the movement of it. They like actually being able to engage with each other in that way. The market is essentially driven by two kinds of traders, brokers and locals. Brokers execute orders largely on behalf of those who want to buy or sell futures contracts. They act for outsiders as well as for themselves. Locals traded for themselves, managing their own accounts. They are free to buy or sell on their own judgment, and the reason they're there is that they make markets. That is to say, the locals who are there to kind of make money in the ring make sure that there's a liquidity in the market, that there's always somebody there to buy. And that's to say, the locals aren't obliged to buy, but their very presence is functionally useful because it makes sure that there are people who are motivated to buy contracts as they become available, and therefore the market keeps on moving. The traders I saw were largely locals, bound by their common interest to keep the market going and to honor their bids. As I said, the trading community itself was a source of information, what happened in the ring. The traders watched each other, generating a kind of common sense about what was going to happen in the market, taking cues from where the pack was headed at any given moment. There were, of course, leaders, big traders, who typically took big risks and often made large sums of money. The smaller traders could learn how the big guys were thinking about market trends, and sometimes they imitated the successful trades that the big guys made. Some of the smaller traders were followed by others if they were seen to be astute or good judges. On the other hand, they couldn't all go in the same direction, because then there wasn't any money to be made if everybody was like bidding on the same contracts. Bucking the trend, going with the flow, watching others, aligning with certain big traders, all of this was part of the trading style, essentially, that each trader developed as he learned how to pursue his craft. The communal process, as you could imagine, created tremendous opportunities for manipulations. Big traders acting decisively could influence the market, in effect, bullying their way to profits. Or if the market turned against them, they could endure dramatic losses. That is to say, they would act confident and they're going to buy, and people say, oh, he's buying, this means the market's going to go up, or going to go down, or whatever it's going to go. And so, in a sense, by that kind of behavior, sort of a little bit like bluffing, I suppose, in a poker game, but that kind of behavior, they could somehow get the other traders to move in a direction that ultimately would turn out to be profitable for them.